Okay, let's talk about the Spanish subjunctive. Just hearing that phrase can send a shiver down your spine, right? It's got this reputation for being like the final boss of Spanish grammar. But what if I told you that reputation is totally overblown? That it's actually way simpler than you've been led to believe? Well, stick with me because we're going to crack this thing wide open.
So, is it really that complicated? Honestly, no, not at all. The secret is that once you get one simple core idea, everything else just clicks into place. This isn't about memorizing a million different rules. It's about getting a feel for one single concept. And here's that big secret. It all boils down to one simple idea: doubt. Seriously, that's it. The subjunctive is the mood you use for anything that isn't a hard fact. It's for uncertainty, for possibility, for subjectivity. When things aren't 100% guaranteed, you reach for the subjunctive. So if you remember one word from this whole thing, make it that one: doubt. It's the key that unlocks everything. All right, so let's dig into that. We're going to start with this core difference between fact and uncertainty. See, in Spanish, there's a really clear line drawn in the sand. On one side, you've got facts and firm beliefs. On the other, you've got everything that's kind of hazy or unsure. And crossing that line is what flips the switch from the normal verb forms you already know to the subjunctive. This is the perfect example. Just look at this. On the one hand, you have creo que él habla español. I believe he speaks Spanish. You're stating this as if it's a fact, right? So use the normal verb habla. Simple. But now, look at the other side. Dudo que él hable español. I doubt that he speaks Spanish. See what happened? The second we introduce that little word for doubt, dudo, the verb had to change. It flips from habla to hable. That's the subjunctive in action. The doubt is the trigger. Okay, so if doubt is the trigger, the big question is, how do you spot it? Well, the good news is Spanish gives you these awesome little cheat codes. They're basically signal phrases. You can think of them like little flashing signs on the highway that say, warning, subjunctive ahead. Once you learn to spot these triggers, you'll know exactly when to use it. It becomes almost automatic. And here are some of the heady hitters. You've got dudar que, to doubt that. We just saw that one. But then you also have no creer que, which is not to believe that. And a huge one is es posible que. It's possible that. Anytime you see one of these, it's like a guaranteed signal. The verb coming up next, it's going to be in the subjunctive. Your main job is just getting these phrases in your brain so you recognize them on sight. All right, so we've got the why and the when down. We know we use it for doubt, and we know how to spot the trigger phrases. Now for the fun part, the how. How do you actually form these verbs? And trust me, the news here is great. There's a super simple 3-step formula. It's practically foolproof. No guesswork needed. And here it is, your 3-step guide to subjunctive success. Step 1. You take your verb and you put it in the regular yo form. So hablar becomes hablo. Easy. Step 2. You chop off that final O. So now hablo is just habla. And now for step 3, this is the magic trick. You add the opposite ending. So what on earth do I mean by opposite? It's actually kind of genius. For your regular R verbs, you're going to use the endings that you'd normally see on ER verbs. And for your ER and IR verbs, you guessed it, you use the R endings. They just swap. So a verb like hablar takes an E and becomes hable. And a verb like comer takes an A and becomes coma. They literally flip-flop. It's a really cool, elegant system once you see it. Okay, time to put it all together. We've got our triggers, we've got our formula. Let's see how they team up to build actual sentences. This is the moment where the light bulb really goes on. Okay, example number 1. We start with the trigger phrase, no estoy seguro de que, which means I'm not sure that. Right away, alarm bells should be ringing. We've got uncertainty locked in. So, what do you think is going to happen to the next verb? Ella coma verduras. There it is. The verb was comer, right? So we follow our steps. Yo form is como. Drop the O. It's an ER verb, so we add the opposite A ending, and boom, you get coma. See how the trigger phrase, I'm not sure, forced that change? It's a perfect cause and effect. Let's do another one, just to make sure it sticks. Here's a super common trigger. Es posible que, which means it's possible that. Possibility is just another shade of doubt, isn't it? It's not a fact yet. Nosotros vivamos en otra ciudad. And there you go. The verb is vivir. The yo form is vivo. We drop the O, and since it's an IR verb, we add the opposite R ending for we, which is amos. And that gives us vivamos. You're starting to see the pattern, right? It's just trigger plus formula, every single time. Okay, we've gone through a lot of ground pretty quickly, so let's wrap this all up into a nice, simple cheat sheet for you. These are the absolute must-knows, the things you'll want to remember.
First, and most importantly, just remember the big picture. What is the subjunctive for? It's for anything that isn't a 100% solid gold fact. If you're talking about doubt, wishes, possibilities, anything uncertain, you're in subjunctive land.
And here are the 2 tools you need to actually use it. Tool number 1, learn to spot those trigger phrases like dudar que or es posible que. Tool number 2, use that 3-step formula. Yo form, drop the O, add the opposite ending. That's really the whole machine right there.
So there you have it. The subjunctive isn't some scary monster hiding in the grammar closet. It's just a logical, predictable system built around one single idea. You've basically just cracked the code. So the only real question now is, what are you going to say now that you're not so sure about?